Yeah, but I guess he said that the like owner of the salon, their sibling or somebody works for Emirates, and they were like, "Oh, we'll get you on the Emirates flight next time." And he was like, "Bucket list."
What's Emirates?
Oh my
It's
god,
like the fancy ass
airplanes
with like the bar inside.
Oh. Yeah,
Like
You know how
beds you
I-
could sleep in and
Kind of like
Like
how
Victor
planes
Rosado
used to
shit.
be. Victor Rosado shit, yeah. I want to be on that Victor
Dreams.
Rosado. I mean, not literally, but like.
Welcome to your favorite grooming podcast, another grooming podcast. I'm Kat Graney.
I'm Nathan Austin.
I'm Kathleen Austin.
and I'm Juan Rivera.
Was it weird?
Whoop, 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 whoop,
No, it was
whoop.
You
good.
did good.
You did it.
Well,
You
you'd think
did
after
it.
how long we've been doing this.
A year.
I overthink it.
Bad cast.
Bad cast. The bad cast.
What are we doing today?
We're just shooting shit.
Shooting this shit.
We're gonna read some like reviews, and we're going to ask some questions and have fun.
Yeah, we got a couple texts. People have been texting us in the episode description. It says send us a text, so you can send us a text, and we can't reply, but we got them all, so we're going to read a couple.
We
Yep.
can't reply.
Cannot reply.
So
Sorry.
funny.
That's interesting. Yeah, we only know the last four digits of your phone number.
Yeah, we don't know
Nothing
your
else.
name, nothing, just the last four and where you're from
I mean, if you would like to include your number in your name,
in the message.
might be able to get back to you. But yeah. So what are we gonna do? We have a question first?
Today's question is, what is your most terrible memory?
Oh my God.
So sorry to start this episode out this way.
Most terrible.
Okay.
That's a hard one.
I know mine, and I think it was just because for me it was like a very like defining moment, and so it's sad.
I don't think any of these are gonna be happy.
I
necessarily.
know. Okay, yeah. So I was like a teenager in high school, and I always thought that my parents had this like really incredible relationship. I always wanted to be just like them. I was like, I'm gonna find the love of my life and get married. I did, but I had like I thought that's what my parents had done too. That they like were each other's soulmates and they were so in love. And then one day I came home and my computer was on because I had my own computer in my room. And it was logged into an email I didn't recognize. And turns out it was like my mom's secret email, and she had used my computer to access it, and she was cheating on my dad. And so all of the emails were there and I could read through all of them. And then I was left with the like, what do you do? Do I tell my dad and break his heart? Do I tell my mom I know? What do I do? Right? Or do I just like pretend like I don't know anything? Because what teenager should have to deal with that? None.
What'd you do?
Well, I accidentally read an email that was unread, and I didn't know how to like
Put it back.
put it back. So, and I did hack my mom's password so I could check it whenever I wanted. And so she had emailed him like, hey, I think I made a mistake, and like left it up on my daughter's computer. And I think she read the messages. And then eventually she did confront me about it. And then she was like, I'm leaving. I'm moving to Hawaii. I'm like leaving your dad, yada, yada. I didn't tell my dad because I just couldn't, that was like, I've had a lot of terrible things happen to me, but that like crashing reality of like, I really, really thought my parents were like head over heels in love my entire life. So to find out that that wasn't true was like suddenly no more innocence about it. So for me, that was like, it'll always stick with me.
Yeah, that's
that
pretty.
like,
Yeah.
all of a sudden I started noticing all the little things, like all the little fights, all the things I didn't notice because I was just like a carefree kid.
Yeah.
And so that was
And that's what you should have
hard.
remained.
That was tough.
Grow up real fast.
I was an adult, thankfully, or not an adult. I was a teenager in high school, but like at least I was older and I wasn't like super young, but still.
Next.
Next. I think my most horrible memory was having a doggy pass away while in my care.
Oh.
That was very, very hard for me because these people trust you with their pets and they drop them off happy and alive. And having her pass while she was with me was like really sad. It hit me really hard. I felt guilty. I felt like it was my fault, and it wasn't my fault. I don't really know what exactly happened, but the owner was very understanding, didn't blame me for anything, but the guilt stayed with me forever. I still, sometimes whenever I see a Pomeranian, I think of her, and it makes me really sad. Whenever I hear like a dog cough, I like immediately like, because the doggy had like threw up once, but it was just like a normal, just like, to me, it was just like, oh, this doggy threw up. It was like phlegmy, nothing. In hindsight, I'm like, oh, I should have taken an emergency vet right away. But it's like, it's a doggy that just a little bit of spit out.
Throw up.
It happens, right? So I replayed that in my head a lot. Like, if I would have reacted differently, then she would still be here. But I mean, again, it's, how was I supposed to know?
No.
And it was just really shitty. It was not a good experience for me.
Unfortunately, yeah, things just happen sometimes, no matter how hard you try to prevent them. So
there could be things we don't know about them too.
Mm-hmm.
I've had dogs pass away too.
Mm-hmm.
One had cancer and was given 6 months to live and had been 10 months. So, and the owner didn't share any of that with us.
Mm.
And she just passed suddenly.
Yeah.
She was gone. Mm-hmm. And then the other one had an underlying heart condition. The owners didn't know about, we didn't know about.
that one was tough.
Yeah.
Well, because like the first one we were at PetSmart, so it was like terrible, but like it wasn't quite as scary.
Mm-hmm.
But then the second one was a Saint Bernard, and he was like 5.
Yeah.
And it was when we owned our own salon, so that was like heartbreaking and then also terrifying because you just never know how the pet parent's going to take the information. And so we paid for a necropsy because we wanted answers.
And we
knew
we didn't. Old.
Yeah, we knew like we didn't do anything, but we wanted to assure the pet parent that like we didn't do anything. And so then, yeah, it ended up being a heart failure, which for a Saint Bernard is not unheard of, but still like just fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because they leave their dog with you whole.
Yeah, and it is different because it did happen to me at PetSmart before as well. But having that like corporate blanket, it wasn't as scary, you know, because it wasn't me. But then having it happen at your business, it's just takes it to a whole new level.
I overthink everything already. I think about both those dogs all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, anytime we go in the back and there's like
a dog sleeping,
an old dog sleeping, we're like, "Hello,
you gotta poke it.
Same.
Are you good? Hello."
Yeah.
It's a lot.
That was yours.
That was mine. Yeah.
What about you, Kat?
So when I was about 10 or 12, there was this feral cat colony.
I don't mean to laugh. I've just heard this story before. I'm sorry.
It's traumatizing. I went to therapy for like 5 years because of like, this is one of the pivotal situations. And I was a dog kid, but there was this feral cat colony me and my friend went and like would hang out with. There were a couple cats who were really social, like had probably just been dumped there, but there's probably like 15 cats in this colony. Okay. And the lady across the street fed them. And then so we were like, one summer we like befriended the lady and fed the cats for her and stuff. And there was this one cat and it was being really annoying. And me as a dog kid thought, oh, I'll just hold it back with a leash. And so I used my purse and I put it on the cat's neck and it freaked out. And I held onto it and she scratched, my whole back was scratched up and everything. And my arms were scratched and my thing. But then she got away with my purse on her neck. And I was like, I never saw her again. So I was like, I killed that cat. She's strangled somewhere with that on her neck somewhere. And so.
Yeah.
And I still to that day, that cat haunts me. I like can't go to that side of the park. And yeah.
You go dig around.
I did. No, so I went
Find your purse.
I went home and I changed into like jeans and like because it was just all roughage. It's a creek, right?
Yeah.
And the cats would be down in the trees and the branches and stuff. And I went and searched for like 5 hours. And I was all cut up from the bushes and the cat. And I looked and I looked and I looked and I tried and I couldn't find her. And I was like terrified there would be some other things in there. But, you know, I looked and I tried and I couldn't find her and I never did.
Yeah.
You gave it your all.
The fucking cat.
Now we know.
Well, I didn't know that much about cats. I didn't really have cats. So I was like, oh, just put a leash on it like a dog, you know.
It probably got loose though.
Everybody says that, but she never was to be seen again. She's dead.
Maybe because she seen your ass and was like, fuck, I'm getting out of here.
This bitch is going to put another purse on me.
Yeah.
She got loose.
She was a calico cat with white, long hair.
Oh, well, she was already on the outs being a calico.
The matter of time.
Well, she was one of those ones that was probably dumped there because she was super friendly, because she was annoyingly friendly. We kept picking her up and like putting her away, but she kept like, we were trying to befriend the scaredy cats, right? So we wanted them to come eat. She would always just be hogging up all the food.
Well, if she was so friendly, why'd she scratch the crap out of you?
Well, because I put a leash around her neck, a purse around her
I'm
neck.
trying to help you out here.
And then also, then I had the thought how I was going to be arrested because someone's
Wait, how old
gonna,
were you? You said you were like 10,
I was
12?
10 or 12, yeah. And how I was
Call
going
the
to
police.
be arrested because I had my school ID in the back. They're going to come find me with the cat, and they're going to say, oh, you know.
Yeah.
And my whole
Cat
life would be
murderer.
ruined. And
Hey, and look what,
I mean,
look,
it's still
and your life
ruined,
is not
but-
ruined.
Mentally, it probably is a little.
All right, Nathan. Wow us with your... we all know
Did I
Nathan's
tell you
sure
guys?
you
It
have
might have been cut
quite a
out,
few.
but there's one that always sticks out, and it was it was shortly after my dad like left me and my mom when so we lived in a house in Rio Linda, and there was a trailer in the backyard that people would cook meth in, right? And I don't know exactly what happened, but my mom and these people were not friends anymore. And one day I was like on my mom's bed. I think I was like 5, and I'm on my mom's bed, and there's the curtains with the slats. Have I talked about this on here?
I don't think
But
so.
so I'm sitting there. I don't know what I'm doing on my mom's bed, but it's in the middle of the night. And in the corner of my eye, I see like the curtains moving, and a shotgun barrel came sticking through the curtains and pointed at me. And I was like, Mom, what is this? And my mom turns and sees it and starts screaming, and it like pulls through back through the curtain, and the curtain goes, she makes all this noise, and she grabs me, and she's like holding my eyes. She's holding me with my eyes covered, and she's like running, and I could just hear people, ah! And she runs to the car, and she puts me in the car and covers me with a blanket, and I'm in the passenger seat of the Volkswagen Beetle, and the Volkswagen Beetle just starts shaking like crazy.
Oh my God.
And it's shaking back and forth like they're like, I don't know what's going on. I just know it was shaking like more than I've ever felt it shake. And I like peeked through, and I just remember seeing like so many people's faces in the windows looking at us, you know. My mom's like screaming, like, get away from us, and that's all I remember. But I don't know what, maybe I fucking passed out from being so freaked out, but I'm funny now.
That's not the memory I thought you were going to give, so...
No,
That's
that one,
wild.
like, I get
He's
that one a
probably has
lot.
quite a
That
few.
one pops into my mind, like, more than I
Would like to.
Care
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. As an adult, I've slept with my windows and my blinds closed for maybe half my life. Now I can sleep with them open. At one point, I realized, like, you know, whatever's out there, I'll just confront it. So I'm not scared of it no more. But until I was like maybe 20 something, I could not have any view outside the window. It had to be like shut all the way.
Only when you were like going to bed, or just like always?
No, when I was going to bed or something
Okay.
like that.
Understandable.
Damn. How old were you?
I think I was like 5 or something.
Had a gun pointed at you?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Yep. It was terrible.
So did they move out?
I don't know. So like a lot of the memories of that house were like when my dad was there and it was good, and then them fighting, and then afterwards it just being like a hellscape. You know, like,
Damn.
so I don't really remember much about like more than that. You know, it's just like bits of pieces. Like this is a good memory, and then another memory, and another, and then I don't remember like a full arc.
It's like your brain trying to protect you. It's like, we're not going to remember this.
Yeah,
We're gonna remember this.
maybe. Yeah.
Damn.
Probably.
What a great question.
I know.
I know,
like,
that was
All right. Okay. Let's get deep.
Let's get deep.
Deeper than we just did. Have you ever been out in public while commando?
No.
No,
No?
you've never gone underwearless?
I always have 2 layers on my bottom.
Just in case.
Because I always feel like one layer is not enough. Like when I sit, like I feel like, okay, if I don't want, I feel like
Yes.
I feel like I've kind of had this conversation with somebody before. People, I always feel like for example, like out of the shower, right? And you like you're naked and you like sit down to like put on socks or whatever. Like I always have to put like a towel down and then my underwear first and then sit. I don't know what it is about me and sitting with just one layer.
Okay,
but,
are
like,
you?
my
Is it a
booty
man
feels
thing?
like exposed.
Are you worried about your ass infecting the sitting thing, or your sitting thing infecting your ass?
I think my ass infecting what I'm sitting on. I think.
So you never lay in bed naked?
I used so I could lay. Well, I take that back. I can lay
But you
in bed
can't
naked.
sit.
I can't sit naked.
Oh,
I
we
don't
just
like
read that
You're just
story.
worried
Remember
about
about
the
the guy
kiss?
like
Is it the-
scooting
yeah,
out?
is it this?
I think it's because people are like, you don't sit with your asshole on the thing, and it's like if you sit differently, sometimes you do, or like if you shift and your butt cheek stays and you like accidentally open and your rosebud is just like on the couch,
Rosebud.
or like on I
Nice.
don't know. It's just it feels.
I never put that much thought into that.
I don't, but Ronnie, yes, all the time. He like gets mad when I make him put on underwear. Like, Ronnie, put it on. No,
Well, he just likes to be naked.
he likes to only have just a pair of like basketball shorts or whatever. It's like, Ronnie, I could see your religion right now. You need to put something on. Because if I look and I can see it, someone else is looking and they can see it. Yeah.
Cat?
But like, is that only inside your home, or will he go?
No, he goes everywhere. When we come here, he's like, do you have to wear underwear? Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
It's okay, Ronnie. You don't have to wear underwear.
Yeah, I don't care.
don't care.
I'm not looking.
I might look. I've heard stories. I might just look, but I'm not interested.
So I'm trying to think about public. I was like, I definitely.
Oh, is the answer? Is it in public? Oh, it's
In public.
Okay.
So the
Thanks
first
for-
half of my
thanks for
my
telling us
answers
all.
in my bed. It feels weird.
It was interesting though. It was interesting though. That's what matters, right?
But for the record, I have to put something on my bed if I'm gonna like sit in it because it's mostly because like the dog hair, mostly it contaminating me. But anyways, I'm trying to think. I don't know so much in public, but like I'll wear just like little shorts at home with no underwear under them. But in public, I can't recall a time, but possibly.
Absolutely. Yeah, of course I have. I
As
wear boxers, so it's basically like just wearing shorts anyway. So I just wear a pair of shorts with another pair of shorts.
Okay, the other day though, Nathan was wearing boxers.
You're boxers or boxer briefs?
I mean, not boxer briefs, right? That's what they
Okay.
are, boxer briefs. And they were somewhat see-through, which was really funny because then I made fun of him in front of the kids. I was like, I can see your butt crack, right? and then the kids were like, oh my God, Daddy, look at your butt crack. And then we were all like trying to tickle him, and he did not think it was funny, but we thought it was really funny.
No, it wasn't fucking funny
It
at
was
all.
hella funny because the kids,
offended you.
I can get them riled up to do almost anything. So like if I'm like, don't let your dad sleep in, tickle him. They'll just fucking leap right on him, and they will go as hard as I want for as long as I want.
And I'm telling him like, kids, I will hurt you.
Yeah.
I will
like-
punch you.
He's like starting to get angry because they're both tickling him and trying to hold him
And
down.
I'm like laughing, but I'm like, I am not happy
Yeah,
right now.
I'm
I'm
not
like, I am
having
not,
fun.
I am so angry right now, but I'm laughing and stuff because they're tickling me. And I'm like, you're going to cry. I'm going to make you cry in about 10 seconds if you don't stop. And they're like,
I literally physically picked up Ellie and put her outside my door, shut the door, and locked it. I'm like, I'm sleeping in today.
So I do really enjoy harassing Nathan and using the kids as my weapons because then he'll try and like pin me down to tickle me, and then I'll be like, attack your father, and then they'll just like go in and start like attacking him. It's great. I love having
So
minions.
it doesn't go
Bullshit.
the both ways. You can't get the kids to attack
No,
her.
he can, but they
I don't need the kids.
they enjoy attacking their father more.
Yeah.
So it's funner because then I get butt hurt too quickly, and I'm
Yeah.
like, stop.
I want
yeah,
to
because I just like hold her down. I just hold Katie
Yeah,
down
it's
with,
fucking
I
bullshit.
can hold both of her hands with my one hand, and then I could just do whatever, like tickle her. Or,
It's very
and
upsetting.
she's just like freaking out, like, "Ah."
It's very upsetting, and I don't like
It's
it.
the best. She's like,
I
it's
don't-
not fair. You're stronger than me. I'm
Yeah, I
like,
told him the other day. I like find it very upsetting that men are so much stronger than women because.
You just need to get some like kung fu moves.
But in terms of have I ever been out in public while commando? Yes. It's not something I choose to do all the time, but I mean, have you never been in the position where none of your underwear are clean and your swimming suits are dirty? Because I have. And then I'm just like, fuck it. I guess I'm going out commando.
Also, you've gone out a couple times just because it was fun type of thing, remember?
I have, yeah. But
Like
it's not
knowing.
something I do.
And we're just like,
It's not something I do.
Find an opportunity like somewhere inappropriate, you know?
It's not something I do on the regular, but yes.
Yeah, there's something about it. I don't feel as contained, even though I don't have anything.
Well, I mean, this might be inappropriate to ask, but like, from my understanding, there is a constant vaginal
Moisture.
like moisture
Discharge.
/discharge / whatever.
I think that's one of the reasons.
So if you're going commando or only wearing like one layer, then like what's holding on to that layer so it like doesn't like seep through the next layer? Or
So
you know what I'm saying?
it's not because I have like been out commando and been like, oh, I have more discharge than usual, but generally it's not like that much discharge. Nathan, and it depends on like where you are in your ovulation, because sometimes there's more, sometimes there's less, sometimes it's stickier, sometimes it's runnier. But like Nathan, he's very intrigued by this conversation. But I've never like gone out commando and been like it's never soaked through like a pair of jeans, or it's never like if I was wearing like a skirt, it's never like run down my leg or anything like that. So.
You know,
That'd be impressive.
Something for
Nathan.
me as well is the seams in pants.
That is not where I heard C.
Like the seam of your pants.
I know, but I didn't hear that.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be a longer word.
Like the seam rubbing. So, your underwear.
But it could also rub in the right spot.
Well, that's true, but
Just saying, though. But yes, I have, clearly. It's just not something I choose to do like regularly, because I do like for the purposes of catching things, I do prefer it.
Like a catcher's mitt?
You want my underwear?
Not what I said.
Oh,
but
okay.
yes.
I have unlimited access to your underwear.
If it's catching everything, like I assume you want it.
Oh, I get it. I was like, how does that relate? I get it.
Yeah. Anyway, do we want to do another one, or do we want to ask questions and come back to it if we have time later?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. There's nothing up there.
Oh, it's Nathan has to.
Yes, the press the button.
I'm like, there's nothing up there. You're pointing at nothing.
All right, now we
Reporting at
we
maps.
got our screen popped up here.
All right.
Who wants to go first?
Okay, I'll go first. I'm going to read the first text from Salt Lake City, Utah. It says, "Hey there, my name is Megan Stedman. I am a more recent listener, but absolutely love y'all. You'll help me make goals I never thought possible. Oh, I hope y'all know how inspiring you are. This may be forward, but I'm getting married in November and sent y'all a wedding invitation. It is coming in the mail. It's in Louisiana, and my fiance's name is Aaron, so please let me know if you get it. You guys are amazing, and I would love to talk and get advice and constructive criticism on my grooms to better them. Thank you."
Aw, that's
I
so
got this.
sweet.
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
is
if I
super.
could afford it, I'd go.
Yeah.
I know. I wish I could go.
I never
Although
thought I'd
I
get-
haven't gotten anything in the mail.
Maybe to your salon.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
We have quite a pile
Well,
of
it's not like
mail
people
in our-
just know our address.
Have you ever Googled one of the salons?
Have you guys like done your dirty work and found our address? I mean, maybe. You never know.
Well,
That's
not
super
really a
sweet, though.
secret.
one's literally at his home.
Oh, that's true.
Don't Google it.
Literally, when I'm coming to your house, I just put in Juan's groom room
Yeah.
into my
Me too.
GPS. But no, that's so sweet. That's
is really
so sweet.
And
I wish we could
congratulations,
come.
Megan and Aaron.
Yeah,
Yeah,
congratulations.
If
I wish we
had,
could.
If we had unlimited money, we'd definitely come.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm a little tapped
we
out
would
right
love
now.
to critique your grooms.
Yeah.
You know, if you send them to us, send them to one of us, or send them pictures to the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Put mostly on the Instagram, though. I think is the easiest.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Megan.
Yeah,
Thanks, Megan.
Thanks for the text.
If we don't make it, you should definitely send us pictures too, and we'll post them.
Yeah, we
Well,
wanna
it's
see.
next month, so.
No, it is this month.
Oh, this month. That's right.
Maybe it already happened. Congratulations.
Yeah. I guess we don't know, right? We don't know when in November. Beginning, for like
I'll have to
end?
look at the shop to see if I can find an invitation.
Yeah.
All right, New York.
Yeah, you read this one, Nathan.
It's short and sweet.
Hi, I'm a new groomer, and I'm trying to leave Petco.
Oh.
I just hate the corporate nonsense, and I want to grow as a groomer. I've been looking into private salons in my area, but a lot of them seem to use Dawn dish soap as a first wash on their dogs. I don't really agree with this. What are your thoughts? Well, my short answer is I don't agree with it either. But you know,
I know a lot of people who do.
I also have used it, and I've had a dog's ears that just couldn't get degreased, and Dawn, you know, does get the job done. Is there better products out there though that do a very similar job? I think so. Well, what do you guys think?
I mean, I agree with you. I have heard that it works really well to degrease, right? I worked at a salon for a little bit where it was part of the first bath. It was whatever shampoo and a squirt of Dawn. And while the dogs are clean, they're also dried the fuck out.
Yeah.
So I choose to not use it. But there are instances where the dog's ears are so greasy that I use it, you know, so I just use it on the inside of the ear leather, like just where the
Just
ear
a little,
collects,
yeah.
you know, right underneath where all that hair is.
Or the
And I just,
drain.
and then that's just I do it first and then I wash it with something else to make sure to get it all out, just because it is safe.
And then bring the moisture back in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I feel too, right? Is like I have used it before. I know a lot of like people I really respect that I know use it. I would prefer to use the stuff that was formulated specifically for dogs.
That's pH balanced for dogs.
Right. Yeah. But I can't say that I've never used it and I never ever will again under any circumstances. But I personally wouldn't want to wash each and every dog with their first bath with Dawn. Yeah. I would, like you said, right? Like a little bit here or there, maybe if you really, really need it and nothing else is working. But yeah, for the most part, I don't use it.
I've used it in like emergency situations, like skunked dogs, kittens with fleas. I've used it on them before. But my go-to degreaser is LaPooch's F&T.
I was just going to say that.
It works very similar.
Since I've been put onto that, I don't use it on anymore because F&T works amazing.
Yeah, smells good too.
Yeah. People use that as an ear cleaner.
The F&T?
Yeah. It says on the bottle you could put it on a cotton ball and then like just wipe the inside of the ear with it.
Weird.
I think you need to rinse it.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Well, you know, their ear cleaner is also a skin cleanser.
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah.
LaPooch's.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, well, that one was easy.
I'll read the next one.
Okay.
From Atlantic City, New Jersey. New Jersey. From Atlantic City, New Jersey. Hi, you are all so truly inspiring. I've been grooming for 8 years and I just opened my own salon 6 months ago. Listening to you guys have made me pursue becoming a master groomer and competing. With that, I am in a small town with not so many groomers. I do have one employee, but I've come across many clients not wanting to go to anyone but me. And if rescheduled with 2-3 weeks notice, they are very upset. Have you had the same type of issue, and how do you deal with it while you travel, if so? So that's like we have several clients that are requests that want just us. So I would say most of our clients are pretty understanding. And I feel like, especially with Katie, Nathan, and I, we travel the most out of anyone in our salon. So usually we're just like, oh, but I also try to give them more wiggle room. Like if I'm rescheduling them, maybe I will put them on a day where I have smaller, lighter dogs and I can just kind of wiggle them into my schedule and or stay a little longer or stay a little later just to accommodate them because I am causing them an inconvenience, right? But I'm also more understanding with clients when they need to reschedule too. And I will try to wiggle.
Yeah. Well, so I think we used to have more problems with it when we first started. Now I feel like they just kind of understand that like we do a lot of traveling. But I do, number one, I think like because in general, I mean, we've had plenty of people who like come in, they only want to talk to Nathan. They don't want to talk to anybody else. How many times have we had like a hand strip and you've messaged me like they're literally waiting in the lobby for you and I'm not going to be in for an hour. And I'm like, so then I had to come in and tell them like, hey, they were going to have your dog like bathed and dried and ready for me by the time I got in. And now you've messed up my whole schedule for the day. So I think just like having to be really like honest with our clients, like these are the expectations. Now I'm traveling. So like, that, you know, we're going to be gone more. And so either like you're going to have to be flexible and we're going to have to work together, or I can book you with one of my other groomers who is here more, and I've trained them so they're fantastic.
Yeah,
you know,
that's usually what I like to say is like, I don't hire people that I don't trust their work. So everyone that I'll put you with are people that I would have groom my dog, you know?
yeah.
And there's some clients where I'm like, we need to reschedule for me because say the client is aggressive or it has certain ticks that, cause I have a couple clients where they're like too aggressive or too much to handle for some people.
Mm-hmm.
So, but usually those ones are pretty understanding. I can usually work them in somewhere else though. I do my best.
And I will say that, right?
But sometimes it's not a possibility. Sometimes they just have to go with someone else. So.
Yeah.
Well, if it's like, no, I needed this day and time, I'm not like, oh, I guess I'm not going to go on my trip now. I'm like, okay, well then you can book with my other groomer.
Yeah.
And so like take it or leave it. Those are your options. Either you go with my other groomer or you just don't get groomed.
There is a point where you have to like
just put your
one
foot
or
down.
the other.
Well, when I was on maternity leave, I had to do that with a couple people. It's like, I'm not going to come in and groom your dog. I have a brand new baby at home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm going to be off for, 8 weeks and either you don't get groomed or I don't understand the people who will go to a whole new salon if you're not going to be there. I'm like, what is the point? We at least have your dog's records and know a general haircut.
They're comfortable in the facility.
Yeah.
I always think then that's not the type of client we want at that point. Like if you're so upset that I can't groom your dog at the specific time that you'd rather go to a new salon than have one of my people do it, then like,
Peace.
Yeah, bye.
Right, yeah. Because I have people ask all the time. They'll be like, well, is that person good? And then I'm like, yes, this is my salon. I hired them. You think I would hire somebody who isn't going to do a good job? No,
God,
that's
flies.
insulting. Obviously, everybody who works at my salon is a good groomer.
Did I get him?
Some of them
so. I heard
some of them have been grooming for less time and don't have the same degree of like mastery over everything, but they're all really good groomers. And if it was something like, a show carry trim, then obviously they're just going to have to reschedule to when Nathan has time because nobody else is going to be able to do his haircut. But like regular pets, yes, anybody's going to be able to do them in my salon.
They can't handle the smoke.
Well, I just had a client come in the other day and she swore up and down that, first of all, she didn't, whoever she talked to, she didn't request me. She just assumed that we would know that the dog is my request.
She's a regular cat.
Yeah, she's a regular.
She's been there before.
Well, not only that, her last time in was 5 months ago.
Okay, not to get on this rant, but you know what's my favorite is when you're like, oh, what kind of dog do you have? I've been there before.
Yeah. Its name's Bella. But anyways, she came in and she was like very upset because it had been booked with one of the other groomers. And she's like, well, you guys know that. Yeah. I was like, well, she swore she talked to me, but she didn't talk to me. Anyways, but Ashley ended up grooming the dog and did a damn cute job on it. And then she decided to book with Ashley. I'm like, but she's like, yeah, it's just like, it's going to be okay.
I always think when Ashley grooms one of my dogs, one of my like cute regular dogs that's easy, I'm like,
she's stealing
are they going to steal it? Are they just going to go to her from now on? She does really cute like pet stuff that's like really cute.
She does really cute faces.
Yeah.
Really cute faces.
And she has really nice scissor working.
Very sweet. Yeah, and she's just really
Yeah,
sweet
she's
with the
super
dogs.
sweet.
And she'll just do Asian, or she'll just do like Asian fusion style,
Like
on just a regular dog. I usually will not do that. I just do teddy
More
bear
like
heads.
teddy bear, yeah.
But I think I'm just gonna start doing that and just be like giving them something extra.
Well, it's funny because she had recently had a complaint that the dog was uneven, but she had just left its legs longer because it's cuter.
You know, you fly too close to the sun, you know?
You can't please everyone. That's just the way it goes.
Well, also I think her personality helps because I think I have a lot of requests because of my personality, not so much my haircuts. I also get all the evil dogs.
That's something that we talk about a lot, though, is like you don't have to be the best groomer in the world to have a large clientele of very loyal people, right? But like it's all about like your energy and how you interact with the dogs.
Your customer service.
Yeah, and your customer service that's really going to solidify your client base more than anything else. You could put out, not that I think anybody should be doing this, but you could put out subpar grooms as long as you are treating their dogs really well and being kind to them, then they will put up with not the greatest haircuts. Because back when I was a beginner groomer, I was not putting out great haircuts at PetSmart. And I had people like 100 people follow me. You know what I mean? Like when I left PetSmart, and I know I wasn't a good groomer. I'm still grooming some of those dogs to this day, or they're new dogs. And I'm like, man, you stuck with me through some shit, like I wasn't a great groomer.
Well, there's even days now where like I'm overwhelmed, or you just have an off day, I had a client come back and she's like, this is like, I was like, you know what? I'm human. I have bad days. I do my best when I can, but.
My favorite one right now that we get from time to time is
he?
I don't think that you groomed my dog.
Did someone else groom it last time?
Did somebody else groom my dog?
You
and
trimmed
then I'm
the
like,
eyelashes.
I'm like, no, it was still me, but thank you. Thank you for saying that I did a shitty job this time.
Yeah.
But it was still me.
But we still have, we're human. We have bad days. Dogs have bad days. So your dog's personality may not be.
Not just that, but sometimes I'm like, your dog is like 5 years older than that picture you keep showing me.
Yeah, some people.
Okay. Anyway, next one. So they said, hi guys, love the pod. I wanted to ask, how do you keep your salon seeming luxury or high end when it's a busy salon? I'm currently at a temporary place, which is a small private room in a Pet Value, which I'd stay at if the owners didn't pocket my tips. Anyway, not the point. All my clients love that it's small and I'm the only groomer. And as much as I love that too, the plan was always to start my own shop. My mentor, my sister, and me, who is still, me, my mentor, and my sister, who is still a baby groomer, and 1 to 2 groomer friends. I worry about having 4 to 5 groomers and even more in a smallish space could compromise my quality. Not only that, dogs are more distracted and probably stressed, but in the owner's eye, does that look too busy and intimidating? Or maybe it's just the fact that I see behind the scenes of other salons where money and number of dogs is is held way above quality, education, and dogs' comfort. Ugh.
I think as long as all the groomers are holding themselves to a certain degree of quality, then.
And if you're the owner and for you it's quality over quantity, it's going to show, right? Mm-hmm. Because like in my salon, I'm never like, hey, I want you to be taking a shit ton more dogs. I'm like, whoa. Sometimes I'm like, you're good where you are. Like you could even do a dog less if you want and take a little more time, but also like the products that you use, right? We use a lot of like really high quality products and I think it shows. And same with like for accessories.
I want to circle back to the tip thing.
Okay, we'll get back to that. But I think just the way you talk to clients too, right? Like when you are like educated and you care about
and also like 5 groomers doing 5 to 6 dogs a day is way different than 5 groomers doing 8 dogs a day.
Or 10 dogs.
Or that's a huge difference. It counts on like the volume of each groomer. Like if that groomer is doing a comfortable amount where they could properly care for each dog, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, even just spending the extra 2 or 3 minutes with a client in the lobby.
That's what I was getting at before Nathan cut me off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then like staggering appointment times helps too.
Mm-hmm.
I do see where the concern lies, where it says that like having more people there will affect her quality. I think that if working by myself for so long, I think that if I were to work in a salon with other people now, I'm afraid that my quality would go down because I would be so like into the conversation, or if another dog is barking, or I'm so used to like just being me and Ronnie that like I do see that like I don't know if I could provide the same quality. I'd probably have to go down a dog to like figure it out.
Yeah.
Until
I think that's a good point, right? Like for you might have to like readjust yourself. But I think in other ways too, it can be a really positive thing. Because like I've gone to salons where I wasn't the best groomer at that salon, and it really pushed me to be a better groomer. And I worked at places like when we left PetSmart, we were the best groomers at that time at that salon. And I felt so stagnant. Like I just was like, there's no room to like grow anymore.
God, this fly.
Oh my God, Nathan.
Oh my God,
all your things.
Oh my God,
is just gonna be
Nathan.
you. So I think like it depends, right? But I think you can push each other to be better, right? Because like
I know. I'm afraid he's gonna get too focused on the fly and then whack me.
Because I definitely like, I feel like working with Nathan and Kat too, like inspires me to like improve upon certain breed cuts, or I see them like doing their dogs and I'm learning through osmosis, or and so I definitely think it can really push you, and like my newer groomers too. While sometimes like in the beginning, I think they could be intimidated sometimes. Like we would go somewhere, and like we went to go start their testing and they were freaking out. And I was like, dude, you guys like don't even know you have like a better like start than so many groomers, because like you got taught how to do things the proper way and you don't have to unlearn bad habits. And then once they did their testing, they were like, oh, I feel so much better now, like. So I do think that there's like pros and cons, right? I mean, we chit chat a lot, and
but I feel like that helps us at the same time.
Right. That's what
that we're not. Yeah.
Well, you gotta have fun.
Yeah.
I always think you gotta love what you do. You gotta love what you do. Put
And
a little work into
everybody's
it.
different, because like, Ashley has to listen to her headphones sometimes, like while she's grooming. I don't know if it's more about distraction or more about some, like other things, but she's like, I always like having like music in the background. We do play music, but like her own comfort music, I think. So
well, I was like
different.
that last week. I was just kind of having a burnt down week, and I was like kind of like bleh, and just listening to my own music. Like I just put it in one ear so I could hear still, but just like focusing on that.
Disney music.
Yeah, I think a busy
Combination.
salon can be luxury if you're just like make sure it stays clean.
Right.
Make sure
Smells
good. And everyone, I think, okay, what do you guys, I know this is not part of the question, but what do you guys feel about like appearance, like how groomers like present themselves, and like frumpy, like, okay, so when I had my salon, I would have people like read, like if they have like a messy bun on top of their head, I'd be like, hey, can you like just redo that, clean it up a little bit? Just because if we're trying to exude a high-end luxury feeling when a client comes in, how luxury and high end can you be if the person taking care of your dog can't even brush their own hair?
Yeah, I
you
feel
know what I
on
mean.
that.
So like, they're aesthetic wise, I feel like
That's something me and Nathan have talked about a lot, and so then
Is it about me?
it's about
No.
you.
No, but we've
My
talked
holy
about
shirt.
it for us, because like when we go on the van, like when we were doing like the van in the beginning, I was like, I'm gonna wear dresses and skirts, and I do wear those to the salon now too, where I love my pencil skirts, and I'll wear pencil skirts to work. And I used to try it a little bit more. I will say this year I've been a little more tired. But yeah, like I tried to like have my nails done and my hair done. I don't have time to get my nails done anymore, but
No, this polish has been done for months.
But yeah, so that was something like we've discussed, like, and especially if we were to open like a really high end salon, like a second salon, we've talked about that, like having not necessarily a uniform, but like, yes, like your
Like a
hair
dress
has to
code.
be done, your nails have to be done, you have to, the clothes you wear have to be nice. So we have talked about that. I do think that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about the tips though?
Oh yeah, go back to the tips.
Circle
So they
back.
think they pocket them.
Well, it says
That's
They said
illegal.
They do.
yeah.
But is it illegal everywhere?
Yeah, we don't know where she's from.
In California, it's illegal.
They can divvy
They can
them.
take them and like put them through your payroll too, if it goes through a payroll system. But like, if somebody's giving you money, that's your money. That's my impression. That's what I've always thought.
Have we talked? I know we've talked about tips kind of on the podcast, but have we talked about like pooled tips? How do you guys feel about pooled tips?
I think
Or
it
there's like a jar and
depends.
it just like split.
I think it depends, right? Because I do think like to the extent of like some people groom a lot more dogs than others, right? Or like some people do specialty grooms, or some people, I do get tip pooling. I do. And
But then-
I think maybe if everybody's at a very similar level, then that's like one thing.
Some people are really, really good with customer service, and some people
That's
are
true.
not.
That's true. I
And
think it
that could
probably
be-
works at some salons where everybody's kind of at, like I said, like at an equal level of dogs and customer service. But some salons, it's like a wide range.
The way I think about it is like, if a customer gives you a tip, that's your tip. What you do with it is your deal. You know, I don't think it's my place to tell like people or what to do with it.
What about multi-employee per pet, like how we have bathers?
Oh yeah. Well then I try to lead by example, and
I think
tip the bathers that are doing your dogs.
Yeah, we have bathers that bathe and dry our dogs, and if they have time, they do more, right? Like sometimes they'll brush them or do their nails. Sometimes sometimes we do bathe our own dogs if they're busy, and sometimes we blow dry our dogs if they're busy. But I would say they do the bulk of it. And I think bathing and blow drying is a bulk of the groom, and it has to be done correctly. So it takes time for them to cultivate that skill. It's not like something you could just learn overnight. And to do it efficiently, I think it's really important. So we always tip our bathers. It's not something that we mandate technically because I can't force my groomers to like give their tips up. But yeah, we try to lead by example. So we always tip our bathers because I think that they're super, super important. I don't want to bathe and blow dry my dogs. So thank you to my bathers for all of your hard work. I know it's not always easy. And I really appreciate them.
Me too.
What about you, Juan?
My butt's falling asleep.
I don't know. I don't know. For example, when I first opened my shop and I hired a bather to bathe my dogs, I did not tip her when I got a tip, but I would give her a fat Christmas tip. So to me, it like made up for it. But like, I don't know, because it's like they're getting, it kind of goes back to like, why are we tipping? They're getting paid to do their job. And, you know, like, while I do agree that learning to bathe and blow dry and brush out does take a lot of skill and a lot of time to learn those skills, so does hand scissoring an entire dog.
For
right?
sure.
And I don't know if like I would say that they're like equal in skill set and time it took to master a certain skill. So like when it comes down to it, I don't know. I don't know. I feel kind of guilty for saying that.
Well, okay. So if it makes you feel better,
yeah.
we don't do 50-50.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we do a smaller percentage because I appreciate the work that they did on the dog, but I do agree that grooming is obviously more of a skill and
Right.
it took longer to learn. I agree with all of that, right? And we have like all the equipment and we have, you know what I mean? So I totally agree with that. So we are not, personally, we don't split 50-50. We
So
do a
usually
smaller
I
amount.
do like a flat day rate.
Okay.
Like so
For each
like
bather.
for each bather. I
Because
tip
there's
them.
no way we have so many dogs that come in and out of our salon. We couldn't know who did what dogs. So we just do a flat rate.
Or some of them will like start a bath and wash
Somebody
the dog
else
and
will
then dry
dry
the
it.
dog. If they have time, someone else will do the nail, you know, kind of thing. So like I don't know how much each person is doing. Like if there's above and beyond dog, say like I have
Like
a
a
Great
husky,
Pyrenees
yeah.
and I know this one bather washed and dried it and the owner
and it took
like,
them an hour and a half.
yeah, and then and they tip. So I will take like extra, like give them a bonus kind of thing.
Yeah.
But pretty much I just give them all flat rate
Yeah.
per day per bather.
So that's how we do it.
And because I don't also know who tips. There are people who don't tip at all. And I don't sit there and calculate my tips because most of them go through like the tipping system right through the computer. So like, and I'm paying taxes on those and stuff. And so I usually just flat rate tip them.
Yeah. And so it's not 50-50, if that makes you feel better.
It does. And also, I'd like to say something. So like if I ever had like a golden feather trim and they brushed it and I just like trim the butt and the feet real quick,
Yeah.
that
That's
bather
different.
keeps the entire tip.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
totally
If I'm just
different.
trimming like the butt.
It'd take you like 5 minutes
Yeah,
and you're
and I
like,
was like, you
and
can
it's
keep
mine.
it. You did a bulk of the work. So I am fair with that kind of stuff. But like
Right.
if I hand scissored a poodle for hours and she gives me like $40 or $50 for like this amazing hand scissored thing, it's like, how much of it do you think should go to the bath? You know, like I don't know. Like, yes, if she didn't do that good of a job, I wouldn't have been able to execute this.
Yeah.
But like the client is tipping for this, you know?
Right.
So it's hard. It's hard. I guess it goes.
I
That's
get
why
what
we
you're
like
saying.
the flat rate thing.
Yeah.
That's why I like the flat rate because I'm still sharing. Yeah, we're still sharing our tips. We're still saying thank you so much for all of your help and doing a good job. But yes, because I do agree, right? Because that hand scissoring that poodle took you years and years and years to like learn. And so I totally get that because I could do the bath and the blow dry myself, but I would rather not.
I do share my tips with Bronny.
Ronnie,
Do you know what we
is
should
this
upgrade
true?
next for our setup?
What?
Chairs.
Better chairs?
Why?
Yeah, my
We should
ass,
upgrade the
falling
chairs.
asleep?
my ass hurts.
Yeah,
yes.
mine too.
Yeah. Mine too.
Agreed.
Yeah,
And
agreed.
tables.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we did all of that,
Chairs first, though.
who wants to read the next one From Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Okay.
Juan, because he started. with
Oh,
the
yeah.
first
I
one.
thought you were going to say because he's
Because he's
Mexican.
Mexican and Puerto Rico's not.
I didn't say that though.
You're such a dumb cat. Why you think that?
I said because you read the first one and we all read one.
Okay.
No, I know. I just thought it was funny.
This DM is from Alexandra. Hello from Puerto Rico. Barely new groomer
Hello.
here. About a year and a half grooming dogs. I was wondering if you have any suggestions for cheap shears for beginners. Suppliers over here have brands like Bonnie, Shark Teeth, and or Daisy. Thank you. I just wanted to take a moment to say how much I appreciate the credible content you share. Your insights and tips have not only helped me enhance my grooming skills, but have also inspired me to continue growing in this profession. Your passion for the grooming industry really shines through, and I'm always excited to hear what's next. Keep up the amazing work. You're making a real difference.
Aw,
That's sweet.
that's
I know.
super sweet.
So I've used the shark teeth and I don't hate them.
I wonder if shark teeth is different than shark fin. Are you thinking of shark fin?
Maybe.
I
It
know.
has,
I was-
Swivel?
it has a shark on it, but no, mine don't swivel. Mine are a pair of straight shears. I actually won them, and they work pretty well. I like cheap shears though because I break things very easily. We've discussed this before, but I like the Element shears. Those are like $150. They're almost throwaway shears for me. I'm just like, I'll just buy another pair, but I do get them sharpened. But I like them, and they're cheap and affordable, and work just fine.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that naming specific brands as like cheap shears is like offensive to the brands?
Maybe. Probably, yeah.
Affordable.
Affordable is better. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think some shears though, like that's
Well,
what,
also-
that's what they're going for, right? Is like they're like,
Affordability.
I want to be affordable. So
But I think saying cheap is not good. Yeah, definitely.
I don't know any of those companies.
Well, also,
Bonnie,
like,
Shark Teeth,
we-
Daisy.
We're at the point where like we're on the high end. So,
Right.
but I don't know those brands at all. One of those might be a high end shear brand. I'm just not aware of.
Yeah.
Well, it says supplier, so I wonder if it's not the shears. It's just like a supplier. I mean, you said Element, right?
Element. I don't know if they carry them. I'm assuming they go to Puerto Rico.
And I know Kenchi has some more affordable shears. Pina's, I feel like her shears are more affordable.
Oh, I like her Neras. Yeah.
Yeah, the Nira line is, I feel like, very affordable.
What is that brand? Fresh shears, right? I think their entire line, depending whatever the shear is, I think is like maybe 130 max.
Nice.
So I think that's a great option for you to try different things. Because I think I when I want to try a different style of shear, I tend to go for an affordable option first. Like whenever I got like curved thinners or like chunkers or whatever, I always went for like a more affordable thing to see if I even like it to begin with. And then if I do like the way something, then I can find a higher end luxury version of that. But I mean, I think there's a lot of options out there. I think a majority of grooming shears are affordable, right? I think
Yeah.
it's just once you get to like a certain skill set, you can't really use those anymore, either for your hand fatigue or just the outcome that you want it to be a little bit smoother or different. But I think as you go on, you kind of just upgrade.
And
So
sometimes you just want the bougiest thing you can get.
I will say once you go luxury, it's hard to
go
go
back.
back to the more affordable stuff because you can feel the difference.
And
Yeah.
it's weird because it's hard to put it into words, for me at least, but you're right. Once I've started really upgrading all my shears, going back, it's a noticeable difference.
Yeah.
I do need to invest in some nice. I would ideally, my goal is to have a pair of show shears that stay with my show stuff, a pair of competition shears, and then the everyday salon shears.
I don't even have that much variety.
With mine, I have one set now that goes with me everywhere, and I still I don't need another because I don't need to sharpen them. I don't need they just go with me to the show, and then I take them to New Zealand, and then I take them, and they're still
Okay, but you don't drop your shit like I do.
no, I do not.
I drop my shit all the time.
But maybe if you did the sleeves, like the little tips, like I do,
No, it's not
because
about
even
that.
if you drop them with the sleeve on, with the slip on, it'll keeps the blades from.
I mean, they literally just drop.
They do
them
seem to
while
just
I'm
jump
working.
out of your hand.
Yeah.
Luxury shears don't dull as I find that the scissors I have to sharpen all the time or like re-oil or whatever, they are the lower end shears.
No more, yeah.
And they're affordable, yes, but you have to remember that they almost have like an expiration date to be like, I don't know if that's the right way, but like a certain amount of sharpenings before they're kind of weird.
Yeah.
They don't really, they're not the same.
It's like it's the steel type right? Because if it doesn't hold an edge long enough, as long because it's softer and cheaper to manufacture them. Like the harder the steel gets, the longer they'll last, but also the harder they are to manufacture and the harder they are to put an edge on them, the harder, like a lot more goes into them.
I found that this to be true with like, okay, curve chunkers and curve thinners. A lot of the luxury brands don't have those because they're hard to make. They do dull. So like I feel like with those, I'm constantly replacing.
Yep.
Curve
Those are
and the
what I
curve
replace
thinners.
the most when I do use them. But I have had conversations with scissor makers, and they just can't. The ones I've spoken to, they just can't get the quality where they want it to be in like a curve chunker. But I do have a couple pairs, and I love them. But when I use them, they have like a maybe
a finite amount
of
use.
time before I have to send in to get sharpened.
Yeah, they might not make it through.
Yeah, or you get them back and they're just like trashed. Because the sharpener, like, maybe has never came across a pair of curved chunkers, right? The sharpener gets them and is like, what the hell are these?
Well, and they just can't always sharpen them.
Yeah.
Well, they need a special like wheel or something, right? Or a blade or.
I don't know. It's
sharpen it.
above my pay grade.
Well, you know more than I do.
Okay, so this person messaged, I'll exclude her name. They messaged us on Instagram and they said they were looking for some advice. So they said, I started in the grooming world when I was 14. My mom was a groomer that started in her 40s who worked for the shittiest grooming establishment there ever was. She dragged me there when I was 14 to be a bather, and I was a bather up until I was 18, and then I came back to it for a couple years in my 20s. Then eventually I left when I got married and was away from grooming for 10 years until my divorce. My mom offered me a position to come back to grooming once she had her own salon, and she was going to teach me the haircut part of it. I have been grooming fully for 3 years now. Her and I are in the shop on our own, and the shop is solely in my name because my mother does not pay taxes on all of her income. I know I should never have gone into the situation, but she was my key into this world and my only way to continue. So I felt like I was kind of between a rock and a hard place. I should mention that there was a lot of childhood trauma related to my mother and the men that she chose that she continuously has not taken acknowledgement for, and that has built up resentment in me, especially since I had my daughter recently. Move forward to now my husband has decided to come join me working because he sees the dreams I have for grooming where I want to become certified. I want to start going to competitions and I want to grow a name for myself within my area. We have agreed for him to quit his job and to come work for me to increase my income since I'm the family breadwinner, as well as allow me the time and energy to focus on my advancements. My mother has become extremely angry about this, thinking that I'm going to push her out of the business and that legally it's going to look that way because she has chosen to do illegal things. Unfortunately, there's no way to stop the things that have already been set in motion. I'm just looking for advice on moving forward and how to tread through these new waters that have become pretty treacherous. Thank you all. I trust your advice because of who you are within the industry and since you're all from the same generation as me, as well as most of you work with your spouses.
Well, I mean, let me go first, I guess. Like,
Let me
I
go
think
first as
for
somebody
me,
who has
like,
a
I've
legal
had
family.
issues with my family, and I always think like you don't owe them anything, right? Like,
Preach.
you need to take care of yourself.
And
right?
your husband and your kid.
And your family. And I wouldn't worry about, especially when you're talking about how I have experience with that too, not acknowledging the things that happen. And to me, that makes my blood boil. So I don't know the whole thing, but I would prioritize you and your husband and your family and just be honest with your mom. Be like, well, this is what's going to happen. So
get on board
come with
or
us.
get out.
Yeah, come with us or don't.
yeah. It's funny because I tell my kids like, oh, you know, I work so hard. But then also like I didn't ask them if they wanted to be born. I chose for them to be alive. So I owe them stuff. They don't owe me anything. Right? My kids don't owe me anything. Like I owe them because I chose to bring them into the world.
I never thought of that.
So it's like.
Yeah, they didn't ask to be born.
Yeah.
I hate that like, well, I raised you or I took care. Well, I didn't ask for
Like,
that.
ain't you supposed to?
Yeah, that's literally your job. You signed up for that. Thank
Yeah.
you for doing your job.
And also, like, I've had my mom get me into like some really deep trouble a couple times. Like, I've almost been in lots of trouble over my mom, and
I put a stop to that.
Yeah, I would, put you and your family's health first. That's what I think. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, I agree. I think everybody loves their parents and they want to regardless of whatever situation you're in, most of us love our parents and we want, even if we had some bad things growing up, we want them to be happy and proud of us and do things for them but I do think once you get married and especially then when you have subsequent a child or whatever, right? That is your number one, you have to look out for your family and then your parents and siblings and other relatives come after that.
I do always think if you are in a position to help and you can help without putting your own immediate family in jeopardy, then I think it's a good thing to help. But what do you think? I see you contemplating over there.
I was just trying to think of something to say. I don't really. I wasn't listening to anything. No, I was listening. I am a stickler for the rules and following the law. And whenever anyone around me is not, it makes me really uncomfortable. So I don't know if I could function otherwise. I don't know if
because it's putting you in jeopardy at the same time.
Yeah. So I don't know if I could be comfortable continuing to do something. No, I mean, obviously it depends on what it is. Right. But
we've all not claimed a tip or two.
Right.
I mean, I did that one time 20 years ago.
And it was only $1.
And it was only $1.
Yeah. Same.
I actually claimed it the next year.
Good. You made it right. So I don't know. I don't know if I could, as much as I would want to help my family in certain things, I don't know if I would be capable of doing it because I would feel not right about it.
That was the same with me. My anxiety about whatever they were doing, which is questionable legally, that would just do too much to my psyche. But
it was definitely over not claiming income.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Which can get you and anyone involved in the business in deep water.
Deep water, yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe I just have a different perspective because I'm not married and stuff. But my parents, I would do anything for them. But they've done a lot for me too. So, and I don't have a significant other, and they help me with my daughter.
But
a lot more
would
for
you
my
put
daughter.
your daughter in jeopardy?
No.
That's the difference.
But also, your parents would never do anything.
Your parents would never put Ellie in jeopardy.
No. Yeah.
It's tough. I get it. It's tough because a lot of people really love their parents and they want to do everything for. And that's honestly something Nathan struggled with for a while. When I first met him, he was definitely, like he said, willing to do things for his mom that I was that's inappropriate.
Yeah, she'd call me and be like, "This guy did this to me," and I'd be there. So
she'd be like, "Come and do this bad thing," and he'd be like,
Yeah,
"Okay," and then I had to be like, "No, that's inappropriate. No, that's not okay. We are together now. We have kids. You should no, not okay." We don't do that. That's number one, that's your mom. She shouldn't even be dragging you into that crap anyways. That's ridiculous.
I feel like that would fuck with me more. It's you're knowing this is wrong and you're asking me to be an accomplice. That I feel like that would fuck with me more than actually doing the thing.
Yes.
At the time, it was normal that doing things like that and living in those ways was the norm. So it wasn't. It was just normal. So Katie was "Hey, this is not normal." So woke me up a little.
Yeah, he didn't even know that wasn't normal because a lot of his family is like that. And I was like, that is not normal. That is not normal behavior. We don't do that.
So I think we're all in agreement, right? You should just look out for you.
Yeah.
Well, her and her family, her immediate family. Yeah. Her husband and her kid. And so if she's trying to build this better life for herself, I mean, because that's incredible, right? Wanting to get her continued education and start getting certified and start competing. And that's really amazing. That's not an easy feat to do. And to have your husband willing to now support your dreams and goals and quit his job and to get in there and start supporting you in the workplace. I think that's really fucking cool. And so don't let anybody hold you back from that just because she's your mom. Like Nathan said, you don't owe her to let her do these illegal things just because she's your mom. My 2 cents.
That was 85 cents.
Well, I think it's something that I think I feel really strongly because we've had so many conversations about it because of your mom.
Yeah.
So
Parents.
they're the best.
That's what I think about all the time is like, I just want to be a better, like, but then I'm going to flash forward 30 years and my kids are going to be like, my dad sucked on some podcast.
I mean, maybe.
My dad was a real piece of shit.
Maybe. You never know. You never know how your kids
Or
are
they
going
can
to
be
turn
like
out.
me. I love and appreciate my parents. So
Well,
everyone's parents
la
are
dee da, cat.
You
Well,
fucking
I'm saying-
spoiled parent.
you
kids.
could be that for Owen is old though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're already 10
Juan's
times.
got
you're
nice
already
parents
10
too,
times better of
asshole.
a parent. That's
Sorry
what I'm
about
saying,
it.
though. They both got parents who are still married. We're in the, like, my parents aren't like your parents, but no offense. Nathan got the
So
losing
you lost.
stick.
You have the worst.
For going in a rating system.
So last time I talked to my dad, we had an agreement that we were going to fight when we see each other.
Yeah.
We're like, all right,
Good parenting.
we're gonna fucking scrap, and I never want to see you again and talk to you again. And when I do see you, we're gonna fight. And then he reached out to me online. Hey, you want to reconnect? And I'm like, yeah. So now we've been like texting again.
Well, I mean, it's hard, right? Because it's like at the end of the day, they're your parent,
Yeah.
and there's
honestly,
a connection there.
I honestly think it would be good for us if we just like really did like. He's getting old now though, so he might be getting too old to fight. We should have did that a long time ago when
Also-
we were both in like fighting age.
Yeah.
Because I would just
fighting
feel
is
like
not-
I would just feel like shit now for beating him up because he's 60. No, sometimes it's good to like get the emotions out like that. I don't know. Maybe
I've
not.
never been in a fist fight.
I don't know if
Maybe
that's
It's probably
not a good
I don't know.
solution.
Never mind. I need to stop talking.
We all need to stop talking.
yeah. Are we gonna close it up?
I think so. On that wonderful,
On that
wonderful,
note.
happy note.
Hey, yeah. So beat up your mom. That's what we came up with. All right, you guys got to fight.
Don't listen to Nathan's advice.
I mean, maybe, though. It might solve your problems. No.
It's also technically illegal. If
Oh,
they
no,
decide to
see,
press charges.
that's one thing I do know is that if me and my dad fight, we would go somewhere, probably in the grass, and we would take our shoes off and shit, and we just go at it, and we wouldn't beat each other to death on the ground or kick each other in the teeth. You know, we would just like have it out,
Yeah.
and then
then have a beer afterwards.
maybe.
Men are so weird.
Straight men are so weird.
Straight men are so weird.
I was like, I have no desire to fist fight anyone, especially one of my parents.
Yeah. I very rarely have ever felt physical. Like, very rarely.
Yeah, and normally I just play it out in my head and then it's good.
Do you think you could take your parents,
For sure.
both of them?
At the same time?
Yeah.
Probably. I just have to knock my mom over.
All right. What about you?
And
You think
then-
you could take your parents?
Jane, I just imagine her listening to this episode.
She was just like, turtle.
I think my dad's smaller, so I think he'd be quick, but I feel like my punches would have more like heft to them. So I think I could.
What
I
about
think I could.
What about you?
I think I could.
I don't think. No, my dad's still spry and he's big. Like, he's tall and I think he's still pretty strong. So I don't think I could fight him. And he was in the Navy, so I'm sure he's got some tricks.
So I think like me and my
but my
dad.
mom, probably.
I think my dad, if he was the same age as me, I think he'd take me because he was like in the army. He was like a jungle officer in the jungle and shit, and he's like certified Gladesman explorer guy. But now I think I could kick his ass because he's 60. So it's just like unfair advantage, you know. But like I think if he was 30, like 38, like me, going at it, I think he might like. I've seen him kick someone's ass like really bad. So like I don't know.
Just for the record, I have no desire to fight my parents.
I know, like, he asked me and I was like trying to envision it, and I can't even envision me fighting my parents, even though like there's been things, but like, yeah, I can't even envision it.
Just punching my mom's casket. Like, I win.
You'd definitely
It's getting
beat your
worse.
mom regardless. She was tiny.
She-
You have to go
Yeah.
fall over. Anyways,
That was a very poor taste joke because my mom passed away, and so like, I hope somebody thought it was funny because it disgusted me as soon as it came out of my mouth.
he's just getting worse and worse. We're going to end this. Thank you so much for joining us on another grooming podcast. We'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
I was like, it's getting worse.
I'm going to call my dad and be like, you want to fight?
Bye.